Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the YKB, Why Keep the Box Collecting, where we immediately store the value of our figures and free them for the plastic cardboard prisons. I got you something nice today. It's Sukuna. You know, this figure looks amazing, and Total Anime is one of my favorite lines. So let's take it to the table and see if it cuts up and shows how great of a figure he is. Alright, so we got Sukuna standing up here in the typical Total Anime box. You know, it's pretty standard. Nothing really special on this. They just use basic schemes and designs, which is fine. It's good looking scheme, good looking design. But that's besides the point, because this is the YKB, why keep the box, and I have no reason to keep this box, so let's free Sukuna. Slice and dice this thing up. It's number 12, by the way, if you're counting. There's Sukuna in the plastic. Alright, there you go. There's Sukuna. Let's get a little bit closer. And for the most part, this dude looks amazing. You know, very much is a picture perfect Sukuna in figure form. Like, obviously, I'm not expecting no figure arts or no Mafex, no Hot Toys level, but for $16, it's a good looking figure. Like, this is kind of like one of my favorite things about Jujutsu Kaisen is when Sukuna took over Yuji's body and just kind of went ham. You know, I thought it was like the coolest design. But, you know, that's besides the point. He looks amazing. Let's go look at his accessories. Alright, here comes like a cloud effect or a dirt effect. Or something, I don't really know. It's an effect, it goes on the foot. Here's some hand effects, fist effects. Maybe he's doing some black fist. They're not black, so maybe he's just punching. Here's a serious Sukuna face. Here is a yelling Sukuna face. And here is some Sukuna hands. Do I remember what they're specifically doing? No, not really. But they're his hands. He comes with fists on his person, so you know, maybe I should rewatch the series. Even though more is coming out, but you know. That's his accessories. Doesn't come with too much, doesn't come with too little. It's kind of right around in that sweet spot. Maybe I would have preferred another pair of hands, if anything. But there's his accessories. Let's get it on the figure. Alright, so we got Sukuna standing up. Let's go and change out one of these faceplates for Why So Serious. You know, doesn't look as cool. The serious one with the weird hair kind of just throws it off. Yelling looks a lot better. Very much looks like he's yelling. It doesn't look like he's having fun, which, you know, if you know Sukuna, you know, it's either having fun or it's really annoyed. I don't like the super angry or plain face. Alright, so let's put his shoe effect. Guess that's when he's running super fast. I guess that's what that has to be. Really should know this. I don't. Oh well. This does pop off way too easily. Black flash. I don't know why I said black fist. But here's some white flashes. This does fall off way too easily. Those peg off pretty nicely. Not too hard, not too soft. I wish the head pegged on better. That just keeps on coming right out. I might have to super glue that in. But there's his hands. I do not remember his pose. Oh well. The hands look pretty cool. Very much so. I think I'm going to leave them on. There's his accessories. They look good. Figure looks good. Looks pretty good for a shirtless dude. That's for sure. Alright, since we got him standing here, let's go see his articulation. Ball joint. Ball joint. Moves pretty well. Crunches in forward that much, crunches back that much. The top crunches in that much, crunches back that much. So not a whole bunch of range. This head is probably one of the worst. Not gonna lie, it's super disappointing. You know, keeps on falling apart, which is not what you want. He does have some form of butterfly, but not enough to be really usable. He goes back that far, crunches back forward that much. There's really no movement. Very little bit of movement. So, you know. Can he do a T-pose? Close enough. Yeah, I'll call that a T-pose. There's a bicep swivel. Double jointed. Drop down hips, yes. He can kick up. Double jointed. Can he kick his butt? No. But his calf can. He doesn't have a butt. Is there a boot swivel? No. Is there an ankle rocker? Not really. Just seems like is a peg. So there's really no ankle rocker. So there's also thigh swivel though. There's a little bit of thigh. Not too much. So full split. So, you know, articulation's a hindrance, but, you know, what else can you say? This thing comes out. If I can get it out. It doesn't come with a peg stand, so they gave this to us just so in case we wanted to use a stand that it doesn't come with. And it's hard to take out. So, there you go. It's not coming out again because that was hard. But I will have to glue this face in because this just keeps on coming out way too much. So, that's his articulation. It's not that great, but it's not bad. Then again, you know, to get this figure in SH Figure Arts, it would be like $100. He's only 16, so, you know, that is that. And now that we got that out the way, let's go and see how tall he is. Sukuna is about 6.5 inches. From side to side, he's about 2 inches. So, he's not going to take up a whole bunch of room on the shelf. Don't need to build a shrine for this dude. Alright, so we got Yuji over here from the first wave and Sukuna over here. And just kind of want to see how they look with each other, how they match up. Seems for the most part they're fine, but it does very much looks like Yuji is a little bit lighter. Might not be able to see it because I do have some lights on it, but Yuji definitely seems a little bit taller and a little bit lighter. But I know most people might go and say, well, are they interchangeable? Let's see. Let's see if they thought about this. Nope, not interchangeable at all. So it's not a quite perfect fit. You know, they probably knew what they were doing, that people would do this. You could get away with it with a little bit of paint, but by itself, nah, this is not interchangeable. So, yeah, they probably knew what they were doing. People were definitely going to do this, so they knew. So that sucks. But, oh well. It is what it is. They do look good with each other, though. But you can see from the first line to second line that they vastly improved. Just look at the materials they use. It just looks way better. Here's some total anime figures just to compare with Sukuna to see how they look. Got Shoto and Midoriya. You know, I think he fairly works, but he definitely is a little bit small. Thinner, I would say. Shoto looks like he's bulked up. Midoriya looks like a better comparison to him. Even though I think for at least his body type, they should be around the same age. I think Yuji and Midoriya should only be a couple years difference. Alright, here is Bakugo and Chainsaw Man, and definitely out of scale. Don't look the best on sizing, that's for sure. But, you know, you can put them next to each other. Alright, so we got a little Forager over there in Sukuna. Two pink-haired protagonists, and for the most part, they look good with each other. She's supposed to be a little kid, supposed to be almost a grown adult, older teen. They look good. Alright, since we got Sukuna standing up here, let's go and see and compare him to some other shirtless characters, just to see how he rolls with them. Have Muhammad Ali over here, followed by the king. I should say followed by king. Some more Tekken characters. Here's a Namor. Here's a couple McFarlanes. And there's the G.I. Joe Classified series. So, for the most part, in the shirtless brigade, I think he's pretty good looking dude. Now that we're done with all that comparing and contrasting, why not see how he compares to other figures not from his line, and, maybe some of them wearing t-shirts, like Marvel Legends Iron Man. And immediately after I say wearing t-shirts, I bring out a NECA turtle Michelangelo. That's naked. I guess he's wearing bracelets on his foot, wraps on his foot. McFarlane Spawn, Jack Specific Simpsons, Loyal Subjects Aang, Star Wars Black Series Maul, G.I. Joe Classified Series, and SH Figure Arts Naruto. Would Naruto be able to talk no jutsu Sukuna? Maybe. Yuji couldn't, but maybe Naruto could. Sorry, anime watchers. So, spoiler. But for the most part, his height works pretty well with everything. Kind of the standard 6-inch scale, so it kind of works. Alright, what else can I say about this Sukuna? Other than his head keeps on falling off. This is so annoying. But the figure itself looks good. Articulation is decent for, what you paid. But, oh yeah, I forgot about the neck joint. 2 ball joints. Oh wow. But, man, the hair falling off is a bummer. Him not being able to be interchanged with Yuji over there is another one. But, he looks good. But just the small things. It's a good pickup for $16. I know some people can't get them for $16, but if you can get them for $16, it's a good pickup. Now, for more reviews like this, come back to the YKB. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm out. This is a good looking figure. Has some flaws, but that just might be mine. I really do like this figure, though, despite all the complaining.